Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. So today I want to talk to you about goal setting. So how to set your goals properly and how to actually achieve them. So I'm sure at some point in your life you have set yourself a goal and maybe stuck to it for a few weeks, maybe a few months, maybe even a year. And then suddenly you just stopped, maybe without even realizing why. Or maybe it's just because you didn't make any progress. So that's what I want to talk to you about today, how to stop that from happening and how to actually set yourself up for success. So throughout today's video, there's 3 main steps that I'm going to go through, and you might find it helpful to write these down. So grab a notepad and a pen, open up the notes section on your phone and make notes as we go. This will just help you visualize everything a lot better and will allow you to refer back to it at a later date when you feel you need to. So like I said, there's 3 main steps and I'm going to go through them now, hopefully keeping it as simple as I can for you. So step number 1, this is the goal itself. So what do you want to achieve? Okay. Now, when it comes to fitness goals, there's 2 different types. You've got an aesthetic goal, which is to do with how you look, your appearance. Then we've got performance goals. These are how you perform and progress in specific exercises. Now, most people start a fitness journey, as you like, with an aesthetic goal in mind. They want to look a certain way, but not many people have performance goals. However, these are really important. So what I want you to do today is set yourself 2 goals maximum. We don't want too much to focus on at once because then it becomes a little bit complicated. So 2 goals maximum. If you've got an aesthetic goal, great. I want you to have a performance goal as well. If you don't have an aesthetic goal, then just focus on the performance side of things. So when we talk about the aesthetic goals, a lot of people say they want to lose weight, okay? But with our goals today, we want to make them specific. We want to make them realistic and measurable, okay? This is crucial. Otherwise, we've got no sense of direction. So rather than just saying, I want to lose weight, okay, how much weight do you want to lose? Now, a realistic weight loss goal is 0.5 to 1 kilogram a week. So if you're writing down you want to lose 12 kilos in a month, that is unrealistic. That is not going to happen. So 0.5 to 1 kilo a week. That is the same for putting muscle on as well. Now, when it comes to a performance goal, this is, for example, you want to be able to deadlift 50 kilos in 3 months' time. Okay, that is realistic. So next up, we want to look at putting a time frame on these. Okay, this can be great, but it can also have a negative impact to a certain extent as well. So we need to use this carefully. So a time frame is good. It creates that sort of urgency rather than just saying, this is what I want to achieve, but I don't really care when I achieve it by. That makes you a little bit chilled out. Okay, we want to sort of get up and get going, create that little bit of urgency. But the thing with these timeframes is if we don't achieve our goal within that time frame, a lot of people feel upset, disheartened, a bit angry, and this is what causes a lot of people to quit, to give up, because they've set this goal and they haven't achieved it, yet they haven't actually realized the progress they have made. So timeframes are good, but making sure it's realistic, we can actually achieve it, is crucial here as well. So another thing is if we do achieve our goal within this time frame, a lot of people then think, well, I've set out what I wanted to do, I can just stop now. That's not what we want to happen. As soon as you hit that goal, amazing, great. Now set yourself another goal. And this is why I say performance goals are great, okay? Because we're not going to be losing weight forever. Once you get down to your ideal weight, we're going to look to maintain. But with the performance side of things, we can always look at progressing that. So these are the things you need to bear in mind. Make it specific, realistic, measurable, and put a timeline on it, but make sure it is achievable, okay? We don't want any unrealistic expectations here because then we are setting ourselves up for failure. So once you've got your goals, you can pause the video here for a moment if you need to. Once you've got 1 or 2 goals, what I want you to do now is break it down. So these are smaller stepping stones, sort of milestones, if you like. So your end goal might be a year. It could take you a year to get there, okay? Which is a long time. And a year without really achieving anything can be a little bit disheartening. So what we want to do is we've got our end goal in, say, a year's time. Now break it down. By 3 months' time, where do you want to be? By 6 months' time, 9 months' time, where do you want to be? These help us stay on track. Once we achieve these smaller goals, it's that sense of accomplishment that keeps us going. So rather than feeling disheartened we haven't made any progress in a year, when you have, you just don't realize because you've not been tracking it. So you've got your 2, hopefully, end goals, and now we've got smaller stepping stones that we're going to tick off along the way until we reach the end. Okay, so that is the goal setting side of things. So your goal is, what do you want to achieve? Next up, we've got our motivation. So this is step number 2. Now, when I talk about motivation, a lot of people just think about motivational quotes, motivational speeches. That's not quite what I mean. So what I mean by motivation is your why. Why do you want to achieve this goal? You've written down what you want to achieve. Why do you want to achieve it? Okay, this is your sort of purpose. This is your fuel. What is it that is making you get up and go achieve this goal? Now, this can be quite personal. It changes for everyone. It could be something in the past, something quite personal to you that you're looking to escape. It could just be a desire to better yourself for whatever reason, but really think about your why, okay? Now, at the start of a new goal, a fitness journey, our motivation is quite high. We're quite excited, quite full of energy. We feel great. However, the motivation does fade. It comes and it goes. So there are going to be days where you don't feel like doing it. You don't feel like going to the gym. You don't feel like eating enough protein. You don't really feel like even getting out of bed. This is why your why is so important. When you have days like this, say to yourself, why am I doing this? Why did I start in the first place? This is your purpose to keep going. So that is your motivation. What do you want to achieve? Why do you want to achieve it? Now we're moving on to step 3, and this one is crucial. This is super important, okay? Probably the most important one of the 3. So this is your structure. So these are the things you're going to be doing every single day, every single week, consistently to achieve your goal. So this is the how, okay? Now, a lot of people confuse this with the goal. So they come up with a goal of wanting to go to the gym 3 times a week. That is not a goal. That is your structure. That is something you're going to do. But what is the outcome we're looking to get from this? Okay. So try not to confuse the two. So things you're doing every day, every week, that is your structure. That's your plan. That is your how we're going to do it. But the goal itself is the outcome. What are we looking to achieve from doing these things? Okay. So try and keep them separate. They're both important, but they're both different. They both play different roles. So a lot of people struggle with the structure because they don't actually know what they need to do. So I have made a short video on this, on how to become a stronger, healthier, better you in 90 days. These are the basics for most people. So go check that video out if you're not sure. But this is where you need to be specific. So what do you need to do to achieve your goals? This takes out the guessing work. Rather than waking up and thinking, should I go to the gym today? I know I should, but I don't feel like it. Put it in your diary. If it's in your diary, you're more likely to stick to it. Think of it like a work meeting, but a little bit more exciting. So if it's in your diary, you are going to do it. So make a tick list, everything you need to do every day. These are your non-negotiables. You have to do these to achieve your goal. Otherwise, it's a guessing game, okay? So we need structure and we need to be consistent with these things every day, every single week. So they are your 3 things. Your goal, what do you want to achieve? Your motivation, why do you want to achieve it? And your structure, how are you going to achieve it? So all together, they are really important, but you can't just have one alone. If you've got your goal, okay, you know what you want to do, but why do you actually want to do it? How are you actually going to get there? You don't know. Okay, say you've just got motivation. You feel great, you feel motivated, you want to go out, you want to go to the gym, you want to eat healthy. Okay, but what are you actually achieving from that? And are you doing it regularly? Are you doing it consistently? No, you just feel great one week. The next week, that motivation's gone. Structure alone can be good. You're going to the gym 3 times a week, amazing. But what are you actually working towards when you're there? Why are you actually going? You don't know. So that's why you need all 3. Think of it like a map, okay? So your goal is your destination. Where do you want to end up? Your motivation is your fuel. It sort of gets you going and gives you those little boosts along the way. And your structure, your how, is think of it like a GPS, like a little sat nav. So what direction are you going in? If you don't have any sense of direction, you're just going to go round and round in circles, and you might eventually end up there. But 1, it will take you a lot longer than expected. And 2, you might not actually ever get there. So all 3 go together hand in hand. They are just as important as each other, but you need all 3. You can't just rely on one alone. And finally, you need to understand that it's going to take time. You need to be patient. You can't be expecting quick fixes. You can't be expecting to lose 10 kilos in 2 weeks' time for your holiday, because that is not going to happen. So be patient, be consistent. A lot of people try something for 2 weeks and then they don't see the results they want, and then they change it up. Another 2 weeks, still don't see the results, change it up again. You're never going to get anywhere with this. There is no structure there. You need this structure to be a long-term plan. This is what's going to give you long-term sustainable results. So it's not a quick fix. This is a lifestyle change, something that you can sustain for the rest of your life. So if you're not happy, make small tweaks, but you need to be doing this consistently for a long period of time in order to achieve your goals. So if you're not in it for the long game and you don't understand that, you've already set yourself up for failure. So you've got your 3 main steps: what, why, how. But you need to understand that patience and consistency is key. Without these 2 other things, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Okay, you're going to be guessing and changing things up all the time. We need to be consistent. We need to be patient. So that is it. Hopefully I kept that as simple as I can for you. Hopefully now you have a better understanding, and hopefully you can go and achieve your goals. So if you did find this useful, interesting, helpful, any of the above, then please hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next week.